I'm pressing an electric razor against my skin. Down there. I'm not shaving my hair off completely. I'm just giving it a buzz cut. After this, I do some touch-up with a regular razor and some shaving cream. Of course, I nick myself, and the little wound bleeds more than it should. Once the bleeding stops, I blot myself with medicated body powder. It helps stop the itching caused by the heat. I then rub down my chest, shoulders, and arms in a thin layer of sunscreen. Not too much, I wouldn't want to ruin my tan. My stomach begins to grumble, reminding me that I hadn't eaten all morning. I down a big glass of ice water and hope it doesn't bloat me. I then wedge myself into my skin-tight red and black bathing suit, the one that goes just below my butt and leaves no curve or bump to the imagination. If my dad saw me in it, he'd instantly keel over from cardiac arrest, his last words being, "That's it! Your homosexuality has killed me! Are you happy now?" Normally, I'd get punched in the face for wearing a style of bathing suit in public that's best described as European. But not where I'm going. I'm going to Hollywood. Hollywood Beach, that is. Tucked away on the farthest edge of Chicago's north side is the most beautiful beach in the city. The water, a bit more clear. The sky, a bit more blue. And the skyline, ever so more majestic. This is Hollywood Beach, and this is where the boys come out in droves when Chicago cuts the winter crap and gets its summer on. I pedal up Clark Street, my striped tank top flapping in the wind as I wind my way past pedestrians. I make a sharp right at Bryn Mawr and continue along the potholed side streets, past the giant pink hotel until I reach Lakeshore. The anticipation is intense. I'm as giddy as a child at the gates of Disney World. But there's no Epcot Center here, just bronzed bodies spread out along the sand like seals in heat. I ride on the dirt path and over the grassy knoll. I'm enjoying the intermingling scents of barbecue and sunscreen when the beach comes into view. From back here, everyone looks like scantily clad ants. Some frolic in the water, splashing each other. Others bump a volleyball back and forth. But most are just soaking up the sun, which hangs high in the air like a divine disco ball. I dismount, lock my bike up, and begin scouting for my beach plot. I've been coming to Hollywood since I moved to the city in July of 2004. At that time, I'd never really been around more than a couple dozen gay men at once. And although you might think coming out here was initially an act of celebration, a way to really jump out of the closet into a spacious rainbow wallpapered living room, it actually terrified me. That's because if you're new to this scene, stepping foot on Hollywood Beach is like entering the gay gauntlet. There is more judgment at the beach than at St. Peter's pearly gates. Fresh meat setting foot on the sand triggers the gazes of 100 men. Eyes shoot forth like arrows with tips dipped in scrutiny. Every mole on your arm and every hair on your back is counted. You are instantly assessed. If you're deemed flawed, we release the catty chatter. Oh, well, look at that one. Looks like a big gay whale's sprouted legs made of cottage cheese. And if we like what we see, well, expect no peace. And that's my situation now, as I absent-mindedly crawl around on all fours straightening out my blanket. Look at that one with her big ass in the air, I hear one of them say. What a slut. I make a, well, what are you gonna do face? Slip on my sunglasses and lie on my stomach. I survey the land and try to count how many men are out today. It may be as many as 200, I'm not sure. All I know is this beach is gayer than Charles Nelson Riley. It's all very retro, like a snippet from a documentary on New York homosexuals in the 70s. You see, back then, gays found summer sanctuary at the city's old piers. These rickety wooden docks were covered in men. On occasion, the wood would break and a hapless boy would fall and drown. He would literally fall through the cracks. I wondered to myself if anyone has ever died at Hollywood. A bacterial infection from the water, perhaps? An enraged seagull pecking out someone's eye? If there were a threat at Hollywood, it'd be the rampant hedonism. Sure, the men are pretty packages, but with all the drinking and smoking, our insides are crap. Everyone from the twinks to the bears has a plastic cup in hand, and we're all downing homemade sangria. And as you would guess, it's really good sangria. Us gays are proud of our cocktails. If we're not drinking, we're talking. And what we're talking about is typically one of three things. 1, who's hot? 2, how were the bars last night? And 3, how hot was that guy you picked up from the bar last night? A man next to me is talking to his friends about the latter. So, then he slipped off his underwear, and I swear, they were the size of those little Cadbury cream eggs you get at Easter. Not the regular ones, but the minis. And I was all like, what happened to you? Lightning testicles to Easter candy. Sure, it's Hollywood Beach. I turned north toward the other side of the beach. You see, us gays collect on the south side. We all huddle together to create a makeshift camp with our rainbow parasols and our boom boxes, which blast Lady Gaga and Keisha. But the north side is occupied by a bunch of families. There, children play in the water and build sand castles in the shadows cast by old condo buildings. Separating us and them is a divide, a no man's land in the sand that stretches more than 20 yards. No one ever lies out in this 38th parallel, and no one dare cross it. It's an unspoken agreement. We won't bother you, and you don't bother us. I think about this divide. Seeing those families and that empty space reminds me of why I come here every summer. You see, there's nothing fun about being called a faggot. There's nothing fun about being laughed at for holding your boyfriend's hand or having rocks thrown at your head as you walk down to a train stop. So, like those New York boys of yore who found a home at the piers, we carve out a small space of sand on the outer edge of Chicago. We dress skimpy, we act catty, we get drunk, and boy, are we loud. We make our own fun. And yes, we may judge, objectify, and criticize ourselves. We're not perfect. But for now, this is as good as it gets. It's 4 p.m. and a disco ball in the sky begins its descent behind the big pink hotel. Everyone starts to migrate back to their apartments for a disco nap before going out to the clubs. But not me. I'm just looking forward to squeezing out of my bathing suit and washing all this sand off me. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow, but probably not. Don't get me wrong, I love the sun and the men, but I don't want to be part of a perpetual party, nursing my hangover with another glass of sangria. Nor do I want to be reminded of the distance between us and them. I don't want to fall through the cracks. Besides, this razor burn is going to hurt in the morning. Thank you.